The first thing you want to do is make a slab. If you start with a ball of clay and press it down into the mat, you'll get a round base. You can cut the slab into other shapes, but a circle is traditional Pueblo, so it's probably best for this project to keep the base round. You can use the rolling pin to make sure that your slab is even all over. Get another small chunk of clay and roll it out into coils. Coils are pieces you roll between your hands or across the table and they look like snakes. If you apply pressure to the middle of the coil lightly and roll, you can move your hands out to the ends of the coil and it will grow longer. Try your best to make sure your coils are the same thickness. Make sure to score the clay. This is very important. Scoring the clay just means you're scratching into where you want the two pieces to stick together. Scratch along the edges of the base and then scratch the coil that you're going to add. Press the coil along the base where you scored the clay. Try to keep the coil at the edge of the base so it looks uniform. You will start stacking your coils one on top of the other so you create a wall to your pot. Remember to score each coil and try to build the pot up. Scoring the clay allows the clay to bond together. It's sort of like using glue. The scratch marks will allow the two pieces of clay that you're sticking together to actually connect. So just build the pot up by stacking the coils one on top of the other, making sure to score your clay. So you're going to keep adding coils, building the pot taller as you go. You can use your finger to smooth out the coils so you have a smooth texture, or if you like the coils, you can keep them visible. I do recommend smoothing out the inside if you want to use this pot as a cup after it's fired. I will fire the clay after it dries in about a week. I'll put a clear coat of glaze on it, fire it a second time, and then bring them back to you. The whole process will take a little over 2 weeks. I want you to remember what we talked about regarding the Pueblo people and the ritual of the pottery. Keep in mind how they dug the clay out of the ground with their bare hands. They conditioned the clay, which took about 2 weeks. When they fired the clay, they used cow dung and buried the pottery in the earth. The whole process is very much about the earth and how it is a gift to us. So try to remember these things as you're making your own pottery. You can see too that I have a little bowl of water and I was dipping my fork in it as I was scoring the clay. If you add a little bit of water to the clay, it will help soften the clay and make it just a little easier to smooth out and a little bit easier to score. It's a fine line though. You don't want to add too much water because that will compromise the strength of the clay and it can start to fall apart on you. So just be careful with the water. You can use a little bit to help smooth it out, but don't go crazy on it. When you're done making your clay pot, please put them on the table over by the window and clean up your mess and go wash your hands. You can stack the coils evenly. You can add designs or textures with your pencil. You can try to get fancy by stacking the coils at an angle to make the walls curvy, or you can just keep it simple. Just make sure you do your best work and you have fun.